Good morning, guys. It's Monday. It is bang on 10 a.m. in the morning here in the UK. I hope you are well, and I hope you had a lovely weekend. Now, when it comes to you guys stateside, I know some of you will be watching. It is very, very early in the morning. Some of you have probably not even gone to bed on the LA side, but it's lovely to have your company. Talking about LA, gosh, it's me, it's Sam. We're on. We've got Rachel as well. Sam, did you see Money in the Bank from LA? Oh my gosh, you've seen highlights of it. It's from that super cool new arena, the Intuit Dome in LA. That was absolutely awesome. I know lots of you are not into wrestling, so I will then keep that wrestling chat to a minimum. But oh my gosh, spoiler alert, R-Truth is back. Wow, they sacked them and then they bring them back out of sheer demand. Incredible, incredible. Talking about bringing back the sheer demand, see what I've done there? You see what? That was good. That was smooth. I'm a smooth operator. We have got a weekly wonder that we're going to be previewing, and it is my one of two favourite nature garden collection. Sam, give me a yeah. And that is, of course, our vintage rose. I adore this collection. Just to clarify as well, the other one is my original nature garden collection, the peony. Those I absolutely love. We're going to go through the preview of the weekly wonder. Of course, it is 10 a.m. in the UK, so that then means I am going solo. Just to recap, once again, we've got Sam in my ear, who is just next door. If I knock, he would knock back, although I'm not going there because I can't be bothered getting off my seat just yet. And we've got Rachel. Radical Rachel is on the socials this morning for this show anyway. And, oh, Jake's just popped in. Morning, Jake. He's not saying morning. He's seeing. So yes, we have got a fab day coming your way. It is, of course, Monday, so we've got our preview, we've got our wake-up call, we've got the official weekly wonder launch of relaunch of our vintage rose. Then we're going to go into the Monday maker. So I will be with Benjamin for the remaining of the day for the next three shows, and we're going to be live all the way up till, well, 5 o'clock UK time for a couple of hours. For you guys stateside, it's going to be 12 noon or 9 a.m. Eastern time. And we're going to be playing, we're going to be dabbling, we're going to be flower forming, we're going to then be colouring as well. And a lot of it, certainly all the way up to Monday Makers, is going to be focused on the weekly wonder. Crafting Not Grafting by Hilary is saying good morning from Hilary and Holly Colley. Good morning. Karen Crony saying good morning, Craig and the CCTV crew. Good morning to you. A massive thank you to everyone that did come to the pop-up shop on Saturday. It was incredible. I know lots of you wanted to come but couldn't come for many reasons, one of which was distance. However, for those that did manage to come, was just sensational. It really, really was. I do have to give a massive shout out to our Victoria through in the market and next door. There was her and there was Piper as well. The actual thinking process, the actual brains behind the pop-up shop was from Victoria. This was the second one that we've done, and it was just an incredible sheer effort. Everyone that took part when using their own time on a Saturday. We'd mixed it up. I wasn't there at the first one because I was down at Hobby Maker. However, we mixed it up to make it bigger and better this year. So there was more space, more ventilation, more crafty goodies, and there was demonstrations as well. So if you haven't already, go across on social, the I'm a Fans of Crafters Companion Facebook page, and have a look at all the photos that have been going up there. There was pictures going on, there was selfies, there was signatures. I'm telling you, I felt like Tom Cruise. People asking me to sign their tea towels, their apron, books, and then Crafty Stacey Lou, I have never shaked in my life so much. She wanted us to sign an actual Stanley Cup. An actual, what are they, about £50, £55? By the way, that's not a Stanley, well, it looks like it, but it's my new one. And that is, of course, just phenomenal. I was like, I put a picture on social and my signature was shaking. Not the fact it was round as well, but the fact is it was on like a, what, £50, £55 Stanley Cup. I was like, I better not smudge this or smear this or anything like that, but it was really lovely. Also as well, Rachel, it was so nice. A lot of people think that we know each other via seeing each other. First time on Saturday that I actually got to meet Rachel, Radical Rachel, face to face. A lot of you also said the same. It was lovely to see Rachel when it comes to socials so you actually know who you're actually speaking to, and just putting faces to the names. It was so, so nice. All of us on the team, unfortunately, Debbie Robinson was gutted. When I say she was gutted, I mean she was gutted. We were messaging yesterday. She was really, really upset that she couldn't come. Of course, she was down at Hobbymaker, so she was still working. However, she was really, really sad. So much love for Debbie Robinson. You guys saying, where's Debbie? For those that didn't know, she was at Hobbymaker. But seeing myself, and then seeing Debbie Fisher, and then Ben, Leanne was there, Sarah was there as well. So for everyone that did manage to come, thank you so, so much for making that trip. You kept on saying that we made your day. Believe you me, you made our day. You absolutely did. It really is one great big community. It's so lovely to be a part of, and you guys absolutely made us. You may say I've got a special gift. I'm going to bring it out and touch upon it later on in the day here. That's from Michael Adams and Stephanie. Incredible, 40 gift for myself. The detail, it's on my Crafters Companion Facebook page. However, what I will do is I will bring in, I think Sam's maybe going to go for a little zoomy close-up there. I'll bring it out later on in the day so that you can see it in great detail, because it really, really is, or does mean the absolute world. You can just see it in there. How incredible is that? All my favourites are wrapped up within that handmade, one-of-a-kind teddy bear. And that was just some of the gifts. I got lovely handmade cards. Crafty Stacey Lou, she gave me some lovely gifts. She gave me a full box of white chocolate cream eggs. Do I have to say, I might have to share some with the team. I'm sure you won't mind. Can I just say, I'll share a few, Stacey. That's it. A few. The rest, I'll be keeping myself. Do you know what? I might make like cheesecakes and stuff like that with them. I think I might do that. But yeah, it was really, really lovely to see you all. So thank you so much for coming along. Sue King is on YouTube saying, good morning, Craig. The pop-up shop was brilliant social event. It was lovely seeing you, Sue. And Karen McLeod on, you're just saying, good morning, Craig. Hope you have a good morning. I'm ready to go. I'm buzzing. Big week for myself today, tomorrow and Thursday. I'm not going to talk about how I'm coming off on holiday for 2 weeks. I'm not going to talk about how I'm going to be 40 in about a week's time. I'm not going to be talking about how I'm going to New York City in less than a week's time. I'm not going to talk about any of that today. That is holiday. That is New York City. This is a 40th free zone. Crafted Not Grafted by Hillary is saying it was a great day. Holly had the best. I never managed to see Holly. Didn't even see, I did see, of course, Crafty Stacey Lou's wee doggy, so it was lovely. I am purposely taking my time. I just want to spend this little bit of time having a morning chat with you before we delve in. We've got lots of shows coming up all about the Weekly Wonder, which we will give you lots of ideas and demonstrations. But it's nice. Monday, it's been a busy weekend. What have you been up to? Let me know. Working, crafting, chilling. I was saying to Sam yesterday, because I was knackered after Saturday, I went home and I got in my comfies and I ate rubbish, and then I ordered a takeaway. And what did I watch on Saturday? Oh, it was the Mexican wrestling. That was on before Money in the Bank. So I watched that, so that was epic. And then yesterday I was in a really undecisive mood. You know, I didn't know, do I want to watch the TV? Do I want to listen to the radio? If I'm watching the TV, do I want to watch a show? Do I want to watch a box set? Do I want to watch a movie? When it comes to the radio, I was like, do I want to listen to the radio? Do I want to listen to my playlist? Do I want to listen to a podcast? And then I was like, do I want to sit? Do I want to do something? If I'm doing something, do I want to do my housework? Do I want to... What? I was just so undecisive. So do you know what I done? Sat on my bum all day and done nothing. And flicked on my phone. So, bit of a waste, but you know what? It was needed. It's nice and relaxed. Mandy Robson is saying, good morning, everyone. Mandy Robson, I just want to check because I don't want to be, yes, I want to be very, very careful that I didn't get the wrong person. Mandy Robson, sending all our love. I know you had a loss in your family and that's why you couldn't make the pop-up store. I know you were really, really excited about going to the pop-up store. You had a loss in your family, so I'm really, really sorry to hear that. We are sending all of our love. Big hugs to you, and I hope maybe today we can bring a little bit of cheer into your day and anyone else that's needing it, because that's what it's all about, crafting and laughing. Oh, I like that. Crafting and laughing. Well, We've done a lot of talking, we're 10 minutes in, so should we do a little bit of crafting? I think we should. This is all about vintage rose. This is a relaunch when it comes to the initial launch the other year there. Let's show you some samples first. When it comes to this show, it is all about previewing. So although we don't put the details on the screen, what I am going to do for anyone that wants to get in quick, when I start to go through the bundles, I am going to get Samuel to then pop up the details briefly, just so you know, because I want to break down the value, because it's exceptional. We've got 3 separate bundles, don't go for them, because when you see the price as a whole, you'll be like, stone the flaming crows, how have they done that? And when it comes to what you're getting in the set, look at this. My favourite stamp. How cool is that? Now, within the big bundle that we'll show you, the 12x12 pad isn't available, but you do get the 6x6. But what you're going to do is you're going to bring in your Sarah signature papers, you know, your boxes of papers. You're going to bring them in. You're going to then start to use all of your other papers from other collections that you've got. I mean, look at that one with that edgeable down the side, that's in the big collection. You've got that framework, that die cut with the flower forming, that's in there as well. Isn't it sensational? It's all about the roses, but you've got that vintage feel. I love that vintage feel. I love that texture. I love the look. That one there, using your papers from your own stash, bringing in the blues. It is heavily red and Bordeaux and burgundy, but you can easily change all of the look and the colours by simply changing the colours. And you guys know me, I'm like a broken record. How many times do I say, change the look by simply changing the colour? This 3D embossing folder in there is in the bundle. That folder, that 2D folder's in there as well. This is going to be great for bringing out your template library, bringing out your layout collection. All of those you're going to be able to use. I mean, that one that our Bianca's done is absolutely exceptional. It really is. Going with the pastel tones, with your inks, going with your sepia tones there when it comes to, oh, that's given me a good idea with a technique that I think we might actually do first. Then cutting. That's not a cut and emboss folder, but you can emboss, then you can cut yourself. You can go with the pink tones when it comes to the stamp, more of that vintage sepia. But then what you've got, if I bring that one in there, that our Nicole's done, you can see all that script work, that stamp's in there as well. And then just changing the look by changing the colour. Because you don't just get your red roses. You get pink roses, you of course get yellow roses. I mean, at Valentine's, I don't know how to do it, but you get the multicoloured roses in that as well. So although they are roses, you can colour them whichever way that you want. So let's have a look at the bundle. So we'll look at the bundle, then I'm going to stand up and we're going to start to play. So I'm going to show you them all individually, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in the price briefly, just for you to know. So this is one bundle that we've got. Now, can I just please clarify here for you guys at home, it's not A4 that you're getting, it is letter size that you're getting. So it's just, it works out the same as A4. It's a little bit wider than A4, but it's a little bit smaller. So you're not actually losing. We don't have the letter size. We've only got the A4 here, but it's the letter size that you're getting. And look at the beautiful colours. Now, when it comes to that, both of them, today's price, so that's not your platinum, today's price is £14 or $20. So you can get them both on the website for £14 or $20. I don't know why it says yes on the back there. It's like Daniel Bryan. Yes, 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 yes. Look at that. The vintage, the colours, the roses, the textures. They're uncoated. They're not textured at all, but you've got that look. You've got that woodwork with the overlay in there. You've got your 36 sheets in there with double-sided. So that's in there, 180 GSM. Again, £14 or $20 for that one. This is probably one, you're going to go for the big bundle, and then you're going to pop that in potentially. Or if you've already got the Vintage Rose collection, treat yourself to that one. However, hang fire at the moment. Then what we've got here is the flower forming. So we'll do a flower within this preview here. And what you're going to be getting is you're going to be getting the classic rose. Now this is going to work with your flower formant foam here. So that is your 9 by 12, 12 sheets, and you've got those 3 shades in there. You've got 5 of that burgundy, you've got 5 of the pink, and 2 of the foliage green, because you won't need as much of the green. But then what you're getting is the dyes. If you're new to flower forming dyes, these are exactly the same as your papercraft dyes. Use these with your card and your paper as normal, and same with your normal dyes you can use with the flower forming. So that is going to give you the ability to create all of these shapes. This is heat-based foam that we'll talk to you later on. You can use your craft foam. The only difference is your craft foam you can't heat and shape. This one you can. If you want to go for that one on its own, £17 or $20 for both of those. You'll find them on the website as well. Now, when it comes to the actual bundle itself, this is the third option that we've got here before we go into the big bundle. So this one here is diamond trellis. The detail that is in this creator card die is exceptional. I'm thinking going in with your gems, going with your pearls, bringing in your nesting dies, changing the shape of that, cuts in, cuts out, so that can be cutting into your card blank, so that's entirely up to you. Cut slithers, cut strips, up to you, but that's in there. Everything I'm showing you here, you can get for £45 or $55. And now for me, the penny's just dropped even more to the value, which I'll explain in a moment. Exquisite lace. You've got your exquisite lace and that diamond trellis. So that's not a creator card, so that won't cut in, but it will cut out. But you've got that mini framework in there as well. Then you've got, we don't have a board for this one, but my favourite stamp. Now this is a double edgeable. So use the stamp on its own, or what you will find, and excuse me, it's an absolute disgusting disgrace, but what you have got is 2 dies here. So this could be the left-hand side of your edgeable, or it could be the right-hand side, or you can use it to die cut out that full image. And I mean, you can't even see the stamp, it's that disgusting. I mean, come on, Craig, cheesy peeps. But look at that. It is a delight to colour, it's easy to colour, and if you want to build your confidence with colouring, alcohol or water-based, I highly, highly recommend that one. I think there was a question come through about, is it available on its own? I'm not entirely sure. If you check out the website and type in Rose Bouquet, you'll be able to have a look and see if it's going to pop up. Then what we're going to be giving you within this third bundle here is the elegant lace border. Beautiful detailed edgeable for the card. Elongate that if you want when it comes to the edge. You've then also got the vintage texture stamps here. So you've got that script work, you've got that swirl in there, the postage stamp, you've got the sentiments in there, you've got the little verse in there, you've got the little dots down into there as well. So that's in this third bundle. Third bundle also consists of the Baroque frame here, Brock Lesnar. So that one there, everything I bring back to wrestling, everything is brought back to wrestling. That one is your 5x7 2D embossing folder. So you can go in with maybe your stamps in there, or maybe you go around with your flower forming in there with the sentiment in the middle. You can go portrait or horizontal, it's entirely up to you. And then, last but by no means least, you have got the timeless roses. So that is your 5x7 3D embossing folder. So all of that I'm showing you, you can get within that bundle for £45 or $55. So on that today's price, you could get all 3 bundles for £76.95, which, do you know what? That's good. That is good. So everything I've shown you, all 3 bundles individually in your basket, £76.95. However, if you put the main bundle into your basket, which consists of it all, Samuel, so that bundle I just shown you a moment ago, £45 or $55. Just to clarify, that is the today's price. That's not platinum, that's the today's price. £45 or $55 for that third bundle, or for £50, $60, you're going to get the whole lot, even better platinum, £40 or $48. So I know this is never intended to be a sell show. I think you'll forgive me for wanting to get in there straight away for you guys to see the value of everything. You've got your paper pad, you've got your paper pad, flower forming foam. That is only the consumables that you've got. Oh yeah, I did touch upon the linen, didn't I? So yeah, the linen, paper pad and flower forming foam, that's the only consumables you've got. Everything else is something that you can use a lifetime if you look after it. So again, forgive me for actually going through all the details there. Do you know what, Sam? Let's get away. We don't like. There we go. I wasn't sure if it goes that way or if it goes that way. So just give it a waft either way. So yes, thank you for bearing with me. I think you'll forgive me for actually showing the incredible, incredible value when it comes to that. Right, we shall, so do you know what? This time, instead of throwing it to you guys at home, I'm going to throw it to Sam. Sam, do you want me to do a little bit of flower forming, then colour in with my stamp, or do you want me to do the stamp and colour in, then a bit of flower forming? Okay, Doc. Do you know what? I think Sam's going to, or Sam said what you're going to say at home, flower forming first, because you know you've seen me colour the stamp. You know, I was about to say till death, but do you know what I mean? You've seen me doing it lots and lots of times. So we will do it, but let's do a little bit of flower forming first. Right, let's go in. So many of you were watching this morning and commenting, so thank you so much. So while I get ready and read, let's get rid of the seat for now. We've got, where did I get up to? Oh, bless, Rachel is saying, also, you have no idea how long I've wanted to give you a hug in person. I'm still emotional over Saturday. Rachel was really, like, we all were by the end of the day because how lovely all of you were at home. But Rachel was emotional. She kept welling up every now and again. And in a nice way, it was lovely to see because it just shows how passionate she is as well. And you know what? I don't think Rachel or Taylor, I know Taylor's not in today, she was there as well, with her daughter, Ava Grace, who, you know, Taylor admittance as well, that, you know, she was a shy girl, but she absolutely had a blast as well. She was getting in there. So for anyone that did come, Ava Grace was, of course, at the front of the queue, kind of directing everyone in. So she was lovely, big wrestling fan as well, just like Taylor. So it was lovely to see them there. But yeah, nice for them all to take part. Philip as well had the best time meeting all and had his photo taken with everyone. Thanks for making his day. That's Karen Hughes. It was so lovely as well. Honestly, it really, really was so nice to see everyone putting faces to name, chatting away. Little heads up as to what might be coming over the couple of weeks or so. A lot of questions about when Christmas is launching. Not long at all. So yeah, thank you for Karen. Thank you for coming along with Philip. Art by Jan is saying, I love the border die. It's one of my favourites and I use it all the time. Just adds elegance to everything, which it does. We've got also Art by Jan is saying beautiful colours within the collection. Michael Nugent on Facebook saying, hi Craig, it was great for my wife Shirley and I to meet you and Debbie at the pop-up shop. We had a great day. That is what we wanted. We wanted everyone to come in happy and we wanted everyone to be leaving high as a kite, just like we did. And I think we achieved that. Jane Quigley is saying, it's a beautiful collection. I did buy it and I love it. Art by Jan is saying, Crafter's Companion always do the best colour palettes. They absolutely do. Leanne and her team. Stuart H is saying, thanks for answering the question, Craig. I will check out at the end of this demo. And Kelly O'Sullivan on YouTube saying, good morning, Craig and everyone. Couldn't make it to the pop-up shop. I will definitely come to the next one as I went to the Evesham store and the ladies there were fantastic. They absolutely are at the Evesham store. Really, really great team. Do you know what? Great team all round, and I have to say, and I'm not being biased, front of the camera, behind the camera, customer services, marketing, of course, product development, Christina as well with her cake. She had Piper helping her as well. Piper is also an incredible baker as well as Christina. So yeah, really, really good day. And I'm sure we'll continue to wax lyrical about it all throughout the day once Ben cuts in. Right, enough said, Craig. Let's take flower forming. So you're going to want to have a heat appliance here. Home iron, brilliant. If you've got a travel iron, great. Did you know I'm going off on holiday at the end of the week? Oh no, I don't need it. I was about to say, do I need a travel iron? But no, there'll be one in the hotel room. Or Mum will have me covered. You know what mums are? Mums have got everything. Mums have everything. Although I take after my mum. I've probably got the kitchen sink ready to go as well. Although I'm the gadget guy. So I've got the chargers, the cables, the handheld devices. I've got all of that. I've even, do you know what I've got as well, Sam? I actually have it just now, and I've got one in my work bag and hidden in my car. You know how you get like the Apple tags? You're familiar at home with the Apple tags, where you can hide it and you can track it anywhere in the world on your phone. I got ones off of TikTok for like a £5. They're not Apple tags, but oh my God, they're so good. They're so good. So I could go into my phone and I can track either my work bag or my car if it goes missing. So I bought a few. So we're going to hide one in my mum's suitcase and hide one in mine. And we're also going to do it on my stepdad's phone. He's not coming with us, but say something happened to my phone and something happened to, how awful would that be? Your luggage goes missing and something happens to your phone. Anyway, we'll be able to track them. So yeah, great, get on TikTok, have a look for the tracking devices. Right, Stephen Ferguson on YouTube saying, no he's not, Facebook, hi Craig, pop-up store was great, awesome. Right Craig, shut up, you've been talking long enough. Flower forming when it comes to the flower forming foam. What you will find on the website is we do have a selection of stamens. We also have a selection of, I think the ball tools are there, the edge crimpler, all that sort of stuff is there as well. As I was talking about before, home iron, brilliant, that is great. You can use a travel iron, you can use a craft iron, you can use a heat tool. However, the best way to get the shape is going to be with the iron. I'm going to plug that one in here, like so. And then just while you have a quick nosy at them, just taking a drink, and then we can take these out. Now, we can use our mini, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. And if you are new to flower forming, you will be amazed as to how many layers this can cut. So if I get my mini, and cuts multiple layers even within the mini here, let's go in with the flower dies. Remember, you don't have to just use these ones. Any of your flower dies that you've got, you can be using. So I'm going to take, Jane Quigley, maybe I should get one of those tags on my crafty stash. Do you know what? You know, you're probably not joking, but even if you were, that's a really good idea. It is. I could put one in my case. So let's take these ones here. So just to let you know, we have on the website, we've got 4 sets of stamens on the website. I believe, I'm going to look at my notes here, because I believe we've got the stamens, and within the bundle, you're going to get a pack of the white stamens free, and also the flower distressor in that bundle as well is free. Check it out on the website, and you will see it there within that bundle. But let's go in with our foam. Now, I've got lots and lots already cut that I'll be using throughout the day. But this is the first live show of the day, first live show of the week, and it's the weekly wonder. So let's show you this. So let's take our foam, heat-based foam, and you don't have to cut it. If you're using your large Gemini, or your junior, or your midi, just fold it up. I prefer to cut, but you can just fold it up. But I want to show you this. So there's 2 layers, and there's 4 layers. So if I come in, I wonder if, right, I know this is causing a little bit of wastage for now, but I'm doing this because I want to show you. You're not going to waste yours, but, so there are 2 layers, 4 layers, 8 layers. I'm going to pop my foam on. Now, some of you at home that are eagle-eyed will be like, yeah, but Craig, you don't like cutting more than 1 layer at a time. I don't, but that's cardstock. This is foam. We're going to heat it, so it's going to neaten the edges anyway. So flower forming foam. Now, look at that. That, what did I say, 8 layers? 8 layers. and that has cut all 8 layers, no problem whatsoever. And that was with our Gemini Mini. You do get smaller die, so we can then maximize all of that and die cut all of these little bits. I'm going to keep them, and I can do it in the break. I'm not going to bore you with that just now, but let's do some of the other ones. So let's do at least these ones for now. And I'm doing a lot of cutting here on the foam just to make it work within my Mini, but at home you be more sparing with your foam, and you can then come along and use your bigger machines and die cut bigger sheets, multiple layers at once. All of these, take your little close one, Craigie, close one. See that die jump there? So let's just move that back and run that through again. So yeah, all of these little bits, use your little dies in there, use your little punches. If you're going to use punches, most of them will go through the foam, but you'll need to be quick to punch. Some of them might not work if they're detailed in the middle, but give it a shot. And if we take those out, so that was just 2 layers, and they've cut perfectly. Again, I'm going to keep those bits, and in shows today, I'm going to make use of all of that. Same with all of that. Actually, let's show you that again. So 2, 4, 8, and then we're going to go in, half expecting Sam to say, who do we appreciate? So let's go into here. Let's run that one through. And if I have got multiple layers, you'll have noticed there, and same with the first ones, I tend to go through twice. I'll go forward and then back. But then if I prise that one out, and then I'm just going to then manipulate that out, and then these smaller ones might just catch in the middle, so just give them that little bit of manipulation in there, pull that out, and then if I show you there, all of those are cut to perfection. Like so, I thought I'd torn a petal off there, but I've not. And unlike card, because we're going to heat it, what will happen is any of the edges underneath it aren't quite as neat, it won't matter because the heat from the iron will get rid of all of that. So let's move them onto my little pile of ones that I've already done. So we've got large, we've got medium, we've got, did I do small? I did, didn't I? Is that, that's that size. I definitely did because they nearly crossed over, didn't they? Am I going? Am I going doolally here? Oh no, wait a minute. No, that was the medium that I cut. I've not done the large one yet. So that's the medium. That is the small. I've not done the large one yet. Right, do you know what? Let's just bring in a couple that I've already done. Exactly the same. As you can see, we'll still just go through the Mini. So no problem. And let's set them there. So let's just say 2 for now. You can do as many as you want. If you go for that bundle on the website with the stamens, where it works out that you're getting a pack of white stamens and the edge crimpler or distresser for free, we'll show you that later on in the show. I'm going to go in with our ball tools that did come with a sponge mat. Not sure if it's on the show. If it's not, don't worry. You can use any sponge when it comes to shaping. So if you've got anything, it could be an old card sponge if you want to. That's a little bit dense, that one there, but it's just about adding that bit of shape. Although, to be fair, for this, we're not actually going to do a lot of shape because I find with the rose, what happens is it kind of naturally takes shape when it comes to the heat. So let's start that off here. So let's, yep, we are nice and good. So you cut, I know Sarah will kind of pop it on and hold it on. So Sarah will tend to do this, like so. As that heats up, starts to shrink down and she lets it drop off. You can do that. I tend to hold it flat, like so. Personal preference, there is no right and there is no wrong. And then just knock that off. So we're going to go those. So there's my 2 largest ones. And I'm going to go in with 2 medium ones. And we can still shape, we can still distress if we want to. We'll do that throughout the day. So I'm just going in with that ball tool, holding that one down, letting that do its thing till I can visually see it kind of stop shaping. And then we're going to go in, move that to the side there. I'm going to then go in with the 2 smallest ones. Again, let's go in. Now you can do all small, all medium, all large. You can do a little mix, 1 large, 2 medium, 2 small. That's entirely up to you. I'm going to use this one. So this one I've torn off the petal. 1, you're not really going to see it. And 2, in nature, nothing's perfect. Petals are ripped, petals are torn, petals have marks in them. So don't ever worry. So we have got our, 6 petals in total. I'm going to grab, sorry, bit noise, oops. I'm going to go in, just goes to show, we're alive, we're human. Let's take my heat tool. Biggest friend here, heat tool. I would try not use any other glue. You could use your glue gel, however, you're going to have to let that grab for a long period of time. You're going to do a lot of sitting there, whereas, of course, with the heat tool, it's pretty much instant. Plus, because of the heat tool, the heat within the glue, it's also going to help kind of shape the centre of the petal. So this is what I'm going to do here. Now, just to clarify, I'm not sure what stamens are on the show, so I'm just going to grab what I had at home here. So I'm going to take some out, and what I'm going to do here, so this is fine jewellery wire. So this is all that is. So it's your really fine jewellery wire that you can manipulate, you can shape, and you can cut with scissors. So we're going to take our stamens. I tend to, will do maybe about 4, because we're going to then bend them back on themselves, which is going to give me 8. You can do more, you can do less, that's entirely up to you. But I like to neaten them up, but again, you can have some higher, some lower, that's up to you. And then I'm going to take my jewellery wire, I'm going to bend that back. I'm then going to then just feed that through, turn that around, back on itself. So now that I've got 8, and then I'm going to twist. So I'm going to twist so I've got a point. Now with the foam, what you can do is you can pierce it through the centre. I prefer to use it with my poke tool, like you'll see now. So now I've got my stamens here. And then really simple, to create a really simple rose, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the smallest one, and on the foam, I'm just going to put my poke tool through there. So I've now got my rose through my poke tool. I'm then going to go in with the next one. So this is still the small one. This is the one where I've ripped off the petal. I'm just going to open that one up, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to then cup them around. And because I've let them naturally shape, I've not done anything, the cupness of the petals just naturally start to form around. I'm then going to go into the medium ones. So again, let's get in with the centre, and these are really robust. So if they're on the mantelpiece, if they're getting handled, don't worry about it. You're going to be able to still get that rigidity from them. Doing the same again, going in within the centre, and then I'm just giving it that little bit of a helping hand by shaping round. Going to go into the next medium one and doing it. And what I'm doing, I'm kind of offsetting each petal. So each petal is sitting in alignment of the break of the last ones. And then we're going to go in, and then we're going to go in with the last one, and then we're going to pop that one down, and then the actual last one size-wise, we're going to go into the middle, and then we're going to then shape through. Now what you can also do at this point, see how that's coming together. How cute is that? Absolutely adorable. You can then, of course, manipulate the petals. We can then start to stretch them out, like I'll show you later on. But then what you can also do is you do get the leaves in here. So for me, I would attach that to my card and then tuck the leaf afterwards. What I usually do is I won't use the leaf die with the flower forming. What I tend to do is I tend to use that with my cardstock. So I would cut that within my green linen. Gives you that mix, it's giving you the texture of your flower forming of the foam, but then you've got that card texture of the linen when it comes to the leaf. You can, if you want to, die cut that in the flower forming and tuck that in. But what I'm also going to show you here is I'm not sure what size would be best. So therefore, I'm going to do both here. So if I come in with my green foam, and I'm going to use the rose dye for this here. Let's take, what do I do in my mini? It's here. Let's then bring this one in here. Am I going to be able to fit both on? Let's have a look. Actually, do you know what? Actually, yeah, let's do, I may as well do two. I only need one, but let's do both of them while I'm here. I'm going to go in here. Will that fit? Just and no more. Not bothered. Say it didn't fit and there's a little bit overhang. Don't worry. Again, it's not all perfect in nature. So let's close that one over. Just move that, smudge that one in. Because what you can actually do is you can use the petals as the leaves. So if I take that out here, like so, and the reason I've done the two sizes, because I don't know what's going to look best. I don't know whether the medium will look best or the large one. And then what I'm going to do is you can either not heat it, but I'm still going to heat it because I think it looks nice. I'm going to do exactly what I done a minute ago. So let's do both so I can decide. I'm going to prise that one apart here. So let's do this one and let's just press that down. Now, if you don't have our Crafter's Companion ball tools, don't worry. Any ball tools, any brand are going to work. We'll show you later on in the day how you can use them to shape and manipulate. And then what we've got here, hang on a second, just to kind of let them cool down. They are, however, like they're not hot to touch. So you can easily hold them, manipulate them if you want to. But what we do want to do is just leave it just a few seconds. That's absolutely fine. And then now, let's take the medium to start with. This time, instead of going through the center, I'm going to turn it over and go through. And then once that's on the card, can you see you're going to have the green foliage? So the petals are going one way, but your leaves are going the other way. Or let's do it with the larger one and see how that's going to look. You can do the same. So do you know what? Either would work. For me, a little bit too much green. So let's take that one out and let's go back with the medium one. Press that one in. So we've now got that little bit of green foliage around the edges. Then what we can do is let's go in with our stamens. I mean, oh, what a shot, Sam. How cool is that? How dimensional is that? Now that that's fully cooled, that is really strong, that is really robust. Now, when I say strong, squashes, but it comes back. So you don't need to worry about it being squashed. Now what we're going to do is we're going to then take our stamens. I'm going to lift this up, and then what I'm going to aim to do is start to feed my wire through. So I'm just going to find that hole here and then feed that one through, and then I'm going to pull that through, and then it's entirely up to yourself. Have I caught, let's have a look. Yeah, one side of the wire's not gone quite through. So I'm going to hold, retract, and then just to hold that all together, I'm going to pop that back again, and one side of my wire has crumpled up. So let's just twist, twist, twist. Let's cut a little bit of that excess off. Let's go back in for round two. So we're going to then feed that one through, all the way through, and then it's entirely up to yourself. Do you want the stamens to be seen, or do you want them to be kind of hidden? So if you are going to be in and then having a look, then you can do that. So let's start to then cut these ones together. And then this is where you're going to go in with your hot glue on the back here. Some will do hot glue between each layer. I don't. I just go in with the hot glue on that very, very last layer. And then we can leave that for a second or two, just so that's then going to grab. And then we will then just cut off that excess, because obviously we want to get rid of that excess. If I don't put the hot glue in, there's a chance it's all going to unravel over time, because each petal may start to potentially prise away. Having in that hot glue, this is the point. You could technically, if you want, to use a glue gel, but you're going to have to wait for ages for it to dry. It is an option, that's up to you. And then what we can just do is, once I'm happy with that, I can come close, snip that off. Don't need that, although what you can do is you can unravel the wire and use it again. I'm just going to flatten that onto the back. Not quite dried, but it's dried enough. And then we can go in again, and if you want to, we can just start to manipulate, and we could, let's bring in, I mean, we could go down into the corner there. If you wanted to do more leaves and tuck them in, you could do, I mean, this one also here, that could go down there instead. That could be fuller if you wanted it to be. I mean, also, there's a good example here that Bianca's done. So she's used it, the dye, but within the linen card to create a paper flower. And this one, we could go with our pink foam flower. Just give you additional ideas as to how you can be using it. This one here, we could do that. And then what we could do is we can make some roses only using the small die and do some there, some there. So that's keeping it nice and small. And then what we could do is then we could then start, we could heat them, create shape, and start to dot them about. Let's actually, what I mean by that is, let's bring in this one here, which is a larger one. So that's just extra layers that I've done. You can see I've not actually glued it yet. There's no white leaves there, but what you could do, green leaves, I mean, not white, we could go with a smaller one. Oh no, here's two smaller ones, this is better. What we could do is we could do that there, and then we could either leave these flat or we can shape them if you want, and you can start to create that curve. Go in with the leaf die, cardstock, or the flower foam, or craft foam, die cut, tuck them in if you want to, so you've got options. But going back to what I was saying, with the leaves, I like to do them within the cardstock, so you've got that tactile feel of the rose, but then you've got the tactile feel of the card with the leaves. So that's the one that we've just done there. I was having a play over the weekend, so that's why I've got ones. Let's move that to the side there. But yeah, so that is how, in really, really basic form, that's how you can create a rose when it comes to the flower forming and the actual rose. But then you can start to shape it, you can manipulate it. I've only got 10 minutes left, and I want to do a little bit of stamping when it comes to my favourite stamp. We are going to be showing you again when it comes to Wake Up Call. Then, of course, we've got our main Weekly Wonder relaunch of the Vintage Rose collection. So let's set that one to the side for now, and let's go in with my favourite stamp. Let me switch these off, because the last thing I want, kickstart the week, is either a burnt arm with the glue gel or a burnt knee or leg with the iron. So let's move that out the way there. Let me know what you think of that flower forming foam that I just done there. There was someone there. Jane is saying, Craig, I struggle putting the stamens as I have trouble with my hands. Can I use a glue gun? Absolutely, you can do. What you can do is, you could take a bunch. You can take a bunch like that. And there's a couple of things that you could do. If I take a bunch there, fold it back. If you've got either little heat protectors, what you could do, or let's be honest, I do it just using my hands. Not going to recommend it. Of course, I do have to say to you, please be careful. I know a lot of you will be the same as me. You've got asbestos fingers with all of the heat implements you've used with crafting. But okay, I'm going to do it here. I've got a little bit of hot glue. So what you can do, put your hot glue on, and let that set just for a few moments, just to get rid of that initial heat. And then what's going to happen is you leave it a few minutes, the heat's going to disappear, but it's going to go really quite sticky. But you can then use a heat-proof implement tool, something like that if you want. Now that there's enough heat gone and disappeared, what I tend to do is then just go along and roll it within my fingers there. And then what you've then got is you've got that little bit of a point. But this is referring to your question, Jane. What you could then do is snip it off smaller, and then you've got your stamens there, and you can just glue that into the centre of your flower. So if you have trouble with the stamens and wire, then yeah, you can do it. Or just cut the heads of the stamens off all loose and then just pop them in with the glue gel. So you've absolutely got options there. There was, maybe it was Jane's question I was reading there. I love flower, Pamela, Facebook. Love flower forming, I just can't get just can't get the knack of it. I will give it a go. Do you know what? A little bit like the foil press. Start simple. Do just what I've done there. Don't do shaping, don't do manipulating, don't do any of that. Just heat it, let it drop off, then start to then form it together. Then what you can do, once you start to get that confidence in building that flower, you might then want to do what I'm going to do within Wake Up Call and the Weekly Wonder relaunch, and that is, of course, start to then shape it by manipulating it using the heat from my fingers or the tool that you're getting free with the stamen pack. So lots of ways. Right, let's go in here and let's take some Nina cardstock. Well, I still call it Nina, but our alcohol-proof card. Let's take our alcohol-proof cardstock. I'm going to go in with my stamping platform, and then we're going to go in with my disgusting stamp. And, well, do you know what? I like to think of it as a walk. I know some of you might be going, what? But you guys know what they say, you don't clean a walk. They say don't clean a walk because it's seasoned. It's all the flavour. And that's what I like to think. It's seasoned. It's got all the flavour of the ink. All that I'm just doing is reusing it. Oh yeah, Sam's heard the same about a teapot. Do people still use, excuse me a minute, do people still use a teapot? Yeah, so now you say maybe not. Do you know what? I need to get my alcohol proof while I'm chatting to you. Do you know what? The other month, if you know me, you know I'm a big fan of Ninja brand. I bought a Ninja kettle, which is great, keeps the temperature. But do you know what's out now? And I really, really want it, although I'm not going to buy it because my kettle's fine. You get like app-controlled kettles. I mean, how awesome is that? You get up in the morning and you just go on your phone and you're like, boil the kettle, and then you can decide, do you want it at full temperature for tea? Do you want it, you know, maybe not as hot for coffees? I'm like, oh man. I'm also thinking if maybe anyone in my family want a second-hand Ninja kettle just so that I can buy a new one. I won't, but you know what I'm like with gadgets? I do like my gadgets. So it's like I want a app-controlled kettle. Such a weirdo I am at times. Let's go in. So because I'm going to do a little bit of alcohol colouring, I'm going to be using my tri-blends. On this show today, the Weekly Wonders show, we do have aqua pens, and I'm going to use them. But do you know what? It's a solo show. It's my show. My favourite colouring implements are tri-blends, so that's what we're going to use. We're then going to go in. Sam's the same. Yeah, it's the tri-blend. Tri-blend. Oh, what's the word? We are tri-blend tribals. That's what I was trying to think. Yes. Sam, you can acknowledge your tri-blend tribal chief. Yeah. Every time I walk past Sam, I want you to be like that. You're acknowledging your tri-blend tribal chief. Wrestling talk again, sorry. Roman Reigns. Yeah, I'd like to see you try, Sam. Right, so alcohol cardstock. And let's put a bit of scrap. Honestly, it could be scrap. Don't use your cardstock here because it's pointless. Use a bill and then send it back to them. And so we've got our image. I'm going to use pink for this one because we've got some pink samples here. The reason I love it, it's big, it's bold, but what it is, it's a confidence builder because you've got the larger petals in here. So I'm going to go in with magenta. How long? 3 minutes. Sam, make your mind. Make your mind up, Sam. Have I got 2 minutes or have I got 3 minutes? Oh, you're giving me an extra one. Right, yo, thank you. Thank you for that one. Gosh. Right, let's go in here. Actually, do you know something? I shouldn't say this, but I like doing these shows solo. I love you, Ben, if you're watching, but to be fair, back in the day, Wake Up Call was called Wake Up Call with Craig, and I done it solo on my own. Yeah, it was. It's where Wake Up Call came from. It came from just after once I came back from 12 weeks shielding of the pandemic, because we were still limited in what we could do. And I know it feels like I'm speaking to Sam, but I'm also, of course, speaking to all of you at home that don't know, that we started at midday UK time. No, we started earlier, actually. I think it was 9 in the morning we started, and it was Wake Up Call with Craig. Same logo, but it had Craig underneath. And essentially what we do in Wake Up Call is what I done in Wake Up Call with Craig. So yeah, that's where it stemmed from. So I am used to doing solo shows and enjoyed doing solo shows. It was myself, and to start with, it was Erin and Adam. They're no longer here. Yeah, that's right. That's the Scouse one. Sam, that's him. And then Erin still stayed here, moved next door into the office, and Laura Middleton took over. So it was myself, Laura producing, and then Adam directing. And for those that did watch back then, you guys know we had some hilarity like we do now. There was no one about that time of the morning. We just had fun. And then... All right, so we're changing the subject now, Sam. Yeah. No, do you know what? You're absolutely right, Sam. Bringing it back, bringing it back. Well done. I always say that. I always tell you that to rein me back in. Sam is asking... Say that again, Sam. So Sam's saying, do I do the darks or the mediums after I do the lights? We all do it different. So I'll do it different to Robinson, to Fisher, to Leanne, to Sarah. What I like to do, alcohol cardstock. I like to, Sam, and again, I'm speaking to all of you at home as well, I like to go in with my lightest tone first. The reason being, I like to think of it, what I'm doing is I'm priming my cardstock. I'm getting that layer of alcohol, because all 3 shades are the same colour. It's just the lighter the colour, the more alcohol that's in it, and that's what makes it lighter. So therefore, I like to add that base layer of alcohol, the light pink. Then what I do now, essentially what I'm doing, I'm starting from the beginning. So I've gone in with a base. I like to then go and start with the dark. So I'll go in with the dark. That's now starting to work its magic and blend in, although you don't see it visually, but it's starting to blend in with that alcohol-based layer underneath. It's then, oh gosh, Sam, 30 seconds. Then what we're going to do is we're going to blend it in. So we're just crossing over. We're going to go through all of this within Wake Up Call and also Weekly Wonder relaunch, and then blend that one in, leave that a little moment of time to continue to evaporate, but that's how then we start to then do that colour. Within my favourite stamp, we've got 10 seconds to go, so if you're watching live, myself and Ben will be back in an hour's time with the Wake Up Call of the relaunch of the Vintage Rose. It is across here on now. See you in an hour.